America, America, we have a problem. Welcome to the Inner Circle podcast. This is episode 234, the day after election day. And here we are, brave Americans facing the next day after with a show.
I almost called out.
We need a clap, right? We need a clap for that. We also, you need a clap. Going up, being here and brave. How are you today? Before we get into the election stuff, besides just say, how are you today overall?
Lot of emotions. This morning I was not good. I'm not gonna lie. I was not well. In the words of Dorinda Medley, I'll tell you how I'm feeling. Not well, bitch. I should have wore that shirt. Damn.
I was trying to think of a cute, snarky shirt to wear. I was thinking maybe wearing the dump him one.
Yeah.
You know what? I wanted to wear green, open up my heart chakra, with everything going.
Chakras.
Yeah.
No, but as far as how I feel, I was dumbfounded, disgusted, all the D's. Yeah, I think one thing I will say, grieve. Anyone that needs to grieve, literally grieve and move on. Because you're not gonna walk around miserable.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and we're gonna get into things, but overall, I'm well. We were together this weekend. The days are like a little blurred because coming back, half days off, election. But we were together this weekend.
Longer than this weekend. This was a long weekend.
Yeah, this was a long week. We went to Rhode Island, for the people who don't know, to celebrate Halloween. I went to surprise my dad. I didn't explicitly say it on the podcast leading up, although we knew. I wanted to surprise my dad because his actual birthday is on Halloween. Not only that, I hadn't seen my nephews in over a year. So it was very important for me to see my nephews. Shout out to Zane. Shout out to Zane, who I know be watching with my brother. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to River, who just melted me. I was thinking about how he just recognized me and just hugged me and his little head on my thing. I'm like, oh, that melted me. And then I'm like, do you know her? No.
River wanted no parts of me, which is fine. When he gets older, he will appreciate his rich aunt. But that's fine.
But how did you enjoy? You went trick-or-treating with us too. So how was that for you? I hadn't gone trick-or-treating and done something like that, I don't think, ever since I was a kid.
I've never gone trick-or-treating with kids like that before. I thought it was a nice experience. Kids are very competitive when it comes to candy. And the funny thing is, a lot of them are so competitive and then they forget about the candy days later.
Right.
I wanted to dig into some of the candy bags that they had. But it was fun. It was cute. Going through the neighborhoods, very suburbia.
And very clear on who they were voting for.
Very. You see the front lawns with the but
loud and proud,
yeah. But it was a cool experience, and it was fun to see it. First of all, you know what I was thinking throughout the time that we were there? We didn't bring any adult beverages. We didn't bring any drinks or nothing and walk through. I wanted a hot toddy, but it was very warm anyway.
Now that you bring that up, we did it, and I'm very surprised with myself. If anyone wants a drink walking around, will be me. But no, I think I wanted to be more present in the moment, and I knew we were gonna go out later in the evening, and boy, did we go out. Let's raise our glasses and shout out to us because we did that on Halloween.
Water. Oh yeah.
Salute, water, whatever.
Salute. Yeah. Good job. Let me tell you, I'm proud of you for being scantily clad naked on Halloween. I am proud of myself for wearing fucking fur from head to literal waist in 80-degree weather. But
Can we
oh,
talk
and I
like
got my refund by the way.
but I loved that people were literally recognizing you out
Oh
and
yeah.
about, like Cameron,
Silicam Dipset.
like I love that people recognize it. It's like when you don't have to say it or hold something or whatever, like people recognize it. So I love that for you. With me, it was very telling. And you're right, I was very daring, and I did not
Yeah.
know Dad was gonna be at this certain party, that after party, the later party. But you know what? I braved it, and
I knew your dad was gonna be there, but I didn't tell you because I was afraid that you were gonna change your costume.
yeah, well, shout out to a cool dad. But it was fun. We
And
had a
yeah,
ball. The next day we went your first time axe throwing.
yeah.
That was fun. That was my second time. The first time I did it was in Philly last year in 2023. But it was your first time. We went with one of our first
Like
guests ever, Flex Jose. So shout out to my brother. We had fun. We had a great Friday.
it was. First of all, I had liquid courage. That's why I did well in some parts. But I will say that's harder than it looks. My arms were killing me the next day.
For
I'm more
real.
of a I'm more of a darts kind of girl. I wish it was darts. But the axe was cool. And it was my idea, so I took it with stride, even though I lost 3 games.
We did take it in stride, and then we like went by the river. It was a nice Friday.
Yeah, it was.
It was a nice Friday, but boy, those hotel like the whole not all hotel beds, but the hotel beds we've been in lately, damn, they put us to bed without the D. Okay? Because we don't need the D. That bed will just put us to bed. It's like in New Orleans, it was the same thing. That bed at the Crown Plaza just had me in a chokehold where I could just sleep easily.
I have
Same
a list of like top bed like
top
bed.
hotel beds, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Do you
The
have it?
number one right now is the Boston Harbor Hotel. Because that's a 5-star hotel, honey. When I went in
Yeah,
February.
yeah, I remember. I remember.
I'm trying to think what's number two. I gotta look it up. But
Rob Plaza. Well, I don't know. I'm not adding to your list, but to just piggyback and throw Crown Plaza, great beds, great pillows.
where, New Orleans?
Yeah. And I will assume most of their Crown Plazas will be like that. I've stayed at Crown Plazas before for my line of work and stuff, so I would give
I
them.
can't say anything back because I like work with them. So
Um, who else? Which one was the one we was just recently in? It was a Hilton.
it was a Hilton.
Yeah, it
Hilton.
was a Hilton subsidiary, but
Yeah.
that was like, oh, those pillows in that bed. Like, she will tell you, this guy right here, maybe because Halloween night I was out and came the next morning. But with that being said, I was out,
Afternoon.
but no, don't do that.
You came late
No,
morning.
at
I I
9:30.
got back to the hotel, ordered some Uber Eats, caught up on like shows, like ate split a burger with Gizmo.
And speaking of Gizmo, it didn't go to his arteries or anything because he just had his vet appointment today, and his vet said his blood work is boring. His blood work is amazing, he said.
You're
Um,
welcome.
and he said his teeth, he was a very, and I get this so much, and I feel like a proud dad, that his teeth, he is very impressed for the age that Gizmo has and that he still has his teeth and how the conditions of his teeth. So,
He looks like a piranha.
golf claps to that. To the good dog dad. But I did walk in to we're not gonna forget this. I did not walk in noon. I walked in, I know, before 10 a.m. because I was able to still get breakfast, remember?
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That is true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is true. I will say I'm gonna throw a negative out there, but the only thing that I found, I travel, whether it's for work, for pleasure, leisure, whatever. But I've never, in all the times that I've ever stayed in a hotel, ever experienced people looking at me, front desk people, personnel, looking at me like I didn't belong there. And like, I ain't trying to be bougie or nothing, but that hotel was like a 3 star, 2 star,
At three,
three
not
on a good. It probably like a three. Let's say three.
three.
But for them to like look at us, it was me, you, and your brother. To like when we walked in, I thought that that was kind of weird. That's
Oh,
very
you
off,
already felt that way because they already alone. You already said you felt that way. And
right?
you told me, and I'm like, okay, I heard it. But then I seen it with my own eyes. My brother, bless his heart, he's like, I compare him to like maybe my grandmother or something, where it's like, oh no, I don't see that. I don't look too much into that. I pick up energy. I'm just so good with picking up things, and I just picked it up. I'm like, what's all
Yeah,
the
I thought that was super weird.
all the six eyes? Like, and then when four of the six eyes are vanilla,
Mm.
you know, the wheels start turning. But
I was gonna say something, but you called it out, and I was like, "Oh, finally, someone said something before I did," because I was about to be like and go off. But
listen,
you
when
know,
I say
continue.
something, you know me. I'm very zen, and I'm very like, But if I'm
When,
saying
when?
something,
Mm.
yeah. But then come to find out, I think maybe two of the six eyes that was staring at us slash you for a certain reason, which we came to find out the day we checked out. So
Anyways, anyways,
but moving on, it was a fun trip, and we had a ball. We had a great time. It was good seeing family, friends, and just getting away, and just us having our moments as well. Our little
yeah.
sister of the traveling yaya, whatever it's called, pants. We love a good Amtrak. Shout out to Amtrak. Well, actually,
Well, I was very upset, but they assisted. They helped out, I
and
guess.
listen, it's not their fault that someone decided to be in
I
God.
just find that shit to be so inconsiderate. If you're gonna try to jump the tracks or end your life, do that shit like not on prime time, not when it's rush hour, or like probably sign up for euthanasia. You don't need to be like jumping into the tracks.
And
That's
if you
fucked
got
up.
read between the lines, guys, that's the situation we got into coming back to New York. But nonetheless,
That's the second time something happens when I take a Amtrak train. Because before that, remember when I told you I was stuck in DC because they found like a dead body in the bathroom
yeah,
and
yeah,
they wheeled him out in a gurney with a white sheet over?
yeah. Oof.
Bitch.
Wait, is God telling us something? Anyways, moving on. Moving on. Let's get into what is one of every 4 years. It's a major thing in America, and we dealt with it yesterday. The presidential
Election?
election campaign has come to an end. Donald Trump is our 47th president. Uh,
Mm.
I texted you yesterday after, like, throughout the day, and I said I had my thoughts on things. But I want to hear from you because there's just so much going on. I'm trying to stay away, and I have my perspective, but I want to hear from you first and how you feel and the thoughts, because I know different people are taking it different. I know for my own mental health and my own peace, I'm going a certain route, but everyone's different. I want to hear from you. How do you feel?
Well, I was very optimistic. I did have, I was trying to you know, a, give a benefit of a doubt. But the thing that I feel didn't work out in the favor of Kamala Harris was, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this. I feel like their main campaign was solely focused on the abortion of it all,
Okay.
the abortion issues and the women's fertility issues and the LGBTQIA plus rights. I don't feel that she spoke enough or like basically went against the whole Biden immigration plan. And that's something that has affected me personally in my line of work. And that was like something that, as much as I don't like Trump and as much as I don't like his ways, I was like, at least in his concepts of plans, he did have a plan when it came to that. I didn't really get like a full definitive answer each time she was asked about that. And I think that where she fucked up too was where she didn't really remove herself from the whole Biden thing, the Biden of it all. If she would have been like, Biden did this, but I'm gonna do this instead. It didn't work out for him when he was president, and we're gonna move this way. She just went, she like just basically confirmed and reconfirmed everything that he did and like sided with him. And I don't know. I was surprised when I saw when that map came up and it was all sea of red, looking like a giant period stain. I was gagged. By then, I was like, I'm going to sleep. I don't. It's over. Now, obviously, waking up and seeing like the news, obviously, it hit me. Like I literally cried this morning because as a woman, I feel like we're never going to break the glass ceiling. I don't want to say never, but it just feels like we're always set back. No matter what, we always have to know that like our place is never going to be ever in power, which sucks. I don't like that. Being a strong woman that I am, I don't want to be told that like I'm not capable of being powerful in a sense. I hope that maybe everyone comes together and it's not just Democrats versus Republicans, and like Republicans make it a thing where they're just constantly like, oh, we won. No, everyone should join together and make sure that everything that they want align and is met. Because at the end of the day, it's what the Americans want. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you're an American first. Like, do you still want to look like the ass of the world?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Um, I agree with some in off camera at the on the after show last week when we got off. We obviously, you know, I spoke to and met people and had little conversations of some of the things that I do agree with Trump with. You brought it, the migrant issue in this country, the economy. A lot of people voted for that. I have to say, my mind is all over because there's so much, but like going back to women stuff, because his VP, I'm not even thinking about Trump. It's just overall his VP and what his VP
yeah,
stands
his
for,
VP creeps me out.
and what his VP has said towards women's rights, etc. That was scary to me. I honestly, not even Trump himself has me so worried. It's like his VP.
I feel like Trump is predictable. He is.
Yeah,
His VP seems like he's a womanator, handmaid's tale like type
yeah.
of dude. He is creepy. And did you know he's only 40? And he's a Leo. I knew I hated him. I fucking hate Leos. You know I despise a Leo. I
No,
don't
you
care
don't hate
what.
all Leos. You don't hate all Leos. You don't hate all Leos, but
Who's a Leo that I like besides your nephew?
and
Who's
my
a
brother,
Leo?
and
Oh, I
you
yeah,
know
I
you
love him.
like a few. You don't hate all Leos. I know I have a thing about certain signs too. I'm not gonna mention them, but I don't can't stand them. I'm not gonna say I can't stand them all because
I
but
can.
um, in regards to the votes, a lot of votes are coming out. And listen, where I'm at with this, just to speak my piece. This year, peace was my on my vision board, and I still have my vision board. Peace was one of the major things, and I've gotten out of certain relationships to make sure that I'm maintaining my peace. I'm changing certain behaviors of myself to make sure I maintain my peace. And during this presidential election and everything going on, I told myself I'm not getting sucked in like I did before. I'm not going to let social media and everyone else affect me. I'm not going to let it divide me, friendships break up or whatever. I'm not. I'm going to maintain my peace. And at the end of the day, I know I'm seeing some posts today. I'm trying to stay away from social media as much as I can today, but I'm seeing some posts about, oh, don't bring God and God we trust. God has nothing to do with it. You're right. God doesn't have nothing to do with people, because at the end of the day, he did give us humans reign of the free world of this earth. It's what we do with it. Okay. With that being said, I'm a spiritual person, and I'm just gonna trust in God. God has led me my 38 years of life. So far, I'm still alive. I could breathe. I could walk. I could see. I could eat. I have all my limbs. I'm thankful
Almost
for all
40.
that, and I'm just gonna trust God that He's gonna get us through these 4 years. You know what I mean? Like when we were younger, we didn't understand certain presidential things, and we were still under certain presidential people that wasn't the greatest. So I'm just gonna trust that, you know, we'll see, we'll come through. It does suck. It would have been amazing to see a female president. We kind of had the like hope with Hillary Clinton, the hope with Kamala. Like once it switched from Kamala to from Biden to Kamala, I was a little more optimistic because I will be
Same.
completely honest. When it was still Biden versus Trump, I'm like, this is not like he's gonna like this is
Yeah.
no chance in hell. When Kamala stepped in, there was a glimmer of hope. But am I surprised she lost? Absolutely not. And
Unfortunately.
I told you this, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The only female I could see coming really close and possibly winning, but I don't think she even cares about going that route, is Michelle Obama.
Michelle, can you handle this? I don't think you can handle this. Listen, at the end of, I don't. I feel like Hillary. When it was between Hillary and Donald Trump, I feel like Hillary did some shit back in her years that people were like questioning, like looking at her like all weird. So I never. I was. I mean, I voted for her, but I knew she wasn't gonna get it.
I
Now, as
know.
far as I like to move forward, and obviously, like the 4 years where Trump was president, they weren't great, but this is a time to redeem yourself.
Mhm.
And maybe let's give him a fucking grain, take it with a grain of
Absolutely.
salt, and maybe you'll do changes and shit. But the
I,
first thing he needs to do is the whole immigration thing, to be honest.
listen. I'm an optimist person. You know, we've been friends over a decade. I like to be as optimistic as I can, especially the older I'm getting. I like to look at the bright side of things, although maybe always is not idealistic and realistic. But again, I pray, hope for the best, trust God, and hopefully it just if he really wants a great America, hopefully he unites. It's just before I felt the division, it was so clear. I felt it in the air, on TV, everywhere. I'm just hoping for the best. I'm just hoping for the best. Like you said, I'm hoping he tackles the things that I guess people are so afraid of. But again, not to
Um,
get so deep because we don't want to pinpoint, but I will say, because I just gotta say, this is the platform we have. I'm shocked about how many Latinos still voted for him. I'm
that
shocked
ass.
about how many people of color voted for him, how many men of color still voted for him, because these machismo guys
Mm,
cannot see a woman in power, or
talking
don't think
shit.
a country could be carried, or think we will look weak in power. I'm tired of hearing, oh, other nations are gonna think we're weak if a female is leading the country. I'm so tired of hearing this. I heard it back with Hillary, and to still hear it years later, it's getting redundant and whack. Like, but again, it speaks a lot. And to the women, to the women, 51% of white women. This I'm talking to you, and I love my listen. I don't. I love all women, but the ignorance, the education, like I just feel like most of these women have the beating husband or the abusive husband that told them to vote. I'm sorry, I'm not like I'm talking.
No, there is this, and I've said it before, bitch. It is very hard for you to find a good core group of women because a lot of them hate each other or compete with each other, and it's really sad. It's really sad. The only thing I will say, I did appreciate the fact that whether you call them Democrats, liberals, whoever, people that voted for Kamala, you don't see any protests. You don't see people like fucking trying to demand a recount and doing all the things that they did the last election. I think We gracefully grieved, kept it
Mhm.
cute, we're quiet. I was pissed as fuck today. But at the end of the day, I tried to stay off social media because I saw a lot of obscene things, a lot of ignorant people, and I'm looking at people sideways. And if you come at me on social media, you're gonna get fucking blocked. I don't have time to argue with anybody. At the end of the day, everyone is grown and can make their own opinions and stuff, but I'm not in the business to try to alter people's minds when it comes to politics. Do fucking you.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, it's about inclusion. I'm not gonna look. I don't look at everyone like. And I said this last week, and you know this. Not everyone who voted for Trump votes for Trump or voted for Trump here this election, whatever. I don't think everyone that votes for him align with all his views. Okay, so when I say that, I don't think everyone who votes for him necessarily hates all gays or hates women or wants to control women. I know a lot of people voted for him for many reasons. I also know a lot of dumb people, and I'm sorry,
Ignorance.
I'm gonna keep it trill. Dumb, ignorant people voted for him because they thought he was the one sending them those monthly, weekly, double weekly, whatever checks during the pandemic. Y'all dumb, y'all dumb,
You
and
real dumb, for real.
and also from and this hurts my heart because this is no shade for people who and this is people that are close to me that I love with all my heart. But to find out some people don't vote because they think their vote don't matter or because they feel like their vote is not going to impact anything, our votes do matter. Yes, he won, but there's still a lot of analytical statistics that are taken by these numbers. There's the popular vote, there's the electoral vote. So even if you think, okay, well, why am I going to vote if I know he's going to win? Think still numbers, statistics, and all that is broken down for the future. If you get what I'm saying, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So for people who say they don't vote, please change your mindset, change your mind, change your life because your vote does count. So hopefully
Did you see
2020.
how many votes? I mean, it was probably like by the time I went to sleep, I saw there were like 75,000 votes that were spread, like distributed between the Green Party and the Liberal Party. That shit could have either gone to Trump or it could have gone to Kamala. Like, why would you pick fucking Bobby Kennedy, who's not going anywhere? With what is it, worms in his brain, and the other one, the jail chick. I never seen the bitch a day in my life. I don't know who she is.
And that's what I'm saying. But do you think before we move on, because that's something I feel like maybe her besides some of the things she should have focused on and pushed and get away
Yeah.
from Biden in a sense. Do you think all the celebrity endorsements and push and pop-ups at these different places hurt Kamala? Because this is what I meant to tell you yesterday. I said I have my thoughts. I feel like that hurt her.
I don't think so because if you go back to like when Obama was, running for president, I think he got a lot of like praise and a lot of endorsements from celebrities as well. I think it was more so she and I don't know. I didn't go to school to be like in journalism or anything, but I study like people's like social cues and stuff. And I noticed like people ask her a question, a specific question about something, and she will answer it. And then she will bring it back to the same two topics or the same three topics that were what her campaigns were about. It was
Mm,
never like she wasn't aggressive enough in her answers when it came to like real life issues. So I don't
yeah.
know. I don't think that celebrity thing bothered or like made a big deal.
Or
No.
hindered her in any way. You don't think so?
I mean, what Beyonce and Taylor coming through? If anything, I think it actually helped out because a lot of these Gen Zs were actually when I went to vote and I went to vote early, there were a lot of like younger not teens, but like a lot of young people
Mm.
voting, but they were like actually registering to vote in real time. So yeah, but
Well, listen, um,
we can beat this shit till it's
we
blue in the face.
yeah, it's 4 years. Time goes by quick. And let's just just hope for the best. Pray, Hope for the best. There's nothing more to say with that. But it's going on some shows. Moving on because let's not forget, yeah, president was a reality TV star before. And speaking of reality TV,
Yeah. I
um,
liked him when he was in Sex in the City. Remember when him and Samantha Jones like had a little rendezvous? That's the Donald Trump that I remember, and that I was like, when you think about New York and you think about like how like great New York is doing in the 90s and shit, you think of him that way. Now I don't see him like that, but
yeah, I don't know. But speaking of New York, Roni, I know you're not feeling the new Real Housewives of New York.
I
I
watched it though.
last week they had a Clueless party because it was Jessel's birthday and she did the
I
Clueless.
seen
And
that bitch is clueless.
I'm so annoyed because I'm like, Clueless is one of my favorite movies growing up as
Is
a
it?
adolescent. Yeah, I love Clueless. As if, whatever, totally bugging,
Yeah.
rolling with the homies. Like that was the original with quotable quotes, etc. That was the original Mean Girls. Like, well, not
Yeah.
yeah, it was the original Mean Girls with all the quotable quotes and stuff. Like, it's a cult classic, and the fact that Roni is so lackluster this year, and they did a whole Clueless theme. I'm like, I feel like it was a waste. I
It
started
was.
watching the most recent episode of Roni, which aired yesterday.
I
I
saw it.
it.
I literally saw it just now.
What are your thoughts? Like, I know we was okay, we was all right with season one, but like, I don't know what's going on with.
That
Well,
shit is subpar. You could tell that there are like forcing these little narratives, and they're actually forcing to have interactions. Bryn hanging out with Aaron's father, God rest his soul, because I know he died recently. But what's the girl, the Puerto Rican one? Raquel?
Raquel, yeah,
I
sure.
like her. She's like a New
Me
York
too.
kid. I love her. She's sweet. But like her whole storyline is about how she was married to somebody that was affluential or whatever in the art world, and now she's a lesbian. Like, I'm sorry, they tried to do the I think that they focus so much on the diversity of the women and try to like sprinkle different cultures that they didn't think it through, that maybe they don't have anything in common, because it doesn't seem like they're actual friends.
And this is what a lot of the podcasts I'm listening to, or the things I read, blogs, because obviously we follow Bravo blogs and stuff, are saying very similar things. And at this point, what Bravo needs to do, my suggestion, listen, they should hire us as consultants.
I know that would be
Like,
that
listen,
would be my dream job, actually.
right? Both of us going around consulting people and traveling. Oh my God.
I do that on the daily.
To God's ears, imagine us too. Like people just hiring us for consultants and us going like boss as bitches into these offices, be like, we think you should do this, yep, this one.
You would be a better producer than me because you could start the shit. You could like start the drama.
No, but what I think they should do, and listen up, Bravo, and Andy and company. At this
Well, let me
point,
call Andy.
at
Hello.
this point, keep some of the key players because there's some of them that are interesting, and bring back some of the OGs. Mix it
Mm,
up. I think at this point they need to
no,
integrate the
take
old.
everything out and find a new group that are actually friends, that actually know each other, that probably has dirt on each other. You know what I loved about old Roni? Ramona and Sonia were friends from back in the day when those bitches were like allegedly not escorts, but like hooking up with guys in the stocks and stuff, and like the Morgans and all that. Um, they have information on each other. Also, Luann, like all the drama that they heard, and like, oh, I heard that Luann's man has a wife in like somewhere in Switzerland. If they did that, if they had like tea on each other, that would be more entertaining. The fact that these bitches don't have tea on each other is crazy to me. Bryn, yo, she lost me when she was like trying to be, she was
Oh,
whitewashing and being like very disrespectful to Uba. and trying to produce the show literally on camera. Like,
Yeah.
are you doing too much? And then homegirl, who's a Scientologist, you can't say the word Scientology without her being like, no comment. Why are you on a show if you don't want to talk about your life?
Yeah. Yeah, but speaking to another show that I know you didn't watch either.
Which
You're watching Roni, but you didn't watch this show. Global All Stars. Did you find out who was the winner?
Alyssa Edwards.
Yes,
I
yes. So I
love
just
her.
want to say
I'm
real
glad.
quick, we love Alyssa. I know you didn't watch Global All Stars. I watched it. I actually enjoyed it. Although some of the comments out there, some of the things I've read, not a lot of people jived and vibed with it, but I actually enjoyed it. I got exposed to some new queens that I think are kind of cool.
I didn't know that Alyssa was even competitive, like on the competition.
You
So
did it?
I did not watch like the first episode. Nothing. I don't know why I didn't watch it. Is it on Wow or where was it?
Plus.
Um, I don't know, girl. I've been just watching like true crime.
Plus. But
Living my
congratulations
detective ex. Never
to
mind. Never
congrats
mind.
to Alyssa Edwards. But now moving on, this past week, and we were together when we heard news of this break. Um, well, I brought it up too about the Meg The Stallion has a new documentary that dropped.
I
She also
watched it.
has a re-release of her album, like deluxe, something that she just dropped. So I guess the documentary coincides with the re-release of her album. And in the documentary, she admits that she lied to get Gail King, right?
Mhm.
About when Gail King asked her if she had has slept with Tory Lanez.
She didn't say that though. And I'm gonna come from my Aquarius sister and I'm going to defend her because Gail King asked, "Do you have
Sexual
a
relationship.
physical relationship, sexual relationship with Tory Lanez?" She said no at the time because one, she wanted to downplay it too. I don't think that that's a question that makes or breaks the case or the trial. One, two, having sex with someone once or twice, does that consider to be a sexual relationship with someone? That's like when you get upset when people tell you that, yeah, I was dating Charlie, but you guys just kicked it once or twice.
Or not even. We could kick it. No, there's people that I've kicked it with more than once or twice. That it's like maybe a month or two here and there, not straight like every day in that month or two, but I still call it kick it. Um,
Okay, so they just hooked up. That doesn't mean that they had a sexual relationship that was consistent and they were like in a relationship.
you should have. At this point,
And I don't think it's her. I feel I love Gail King. I love her. I listen to her podcast, but I feel that wasn't a question. That question should have been like what is it, striked off or whatever.
well, listen. Some people do agree with you. I read. I again, I like to like see perspectives and stuff. Some people think that, oh, why are you asking a woman that, et cetera, et cetera. That should have been
Mhm.
off the table. But in this case, she was trying to find out what's going on. I mean, there was a whole big trial.
I feel
And
like
at
you
the
should have
same
asked
time,
why were they arguing in the
he
car.
must have been. It must have. I'm telling you, that little short shrimp. Sometimes those short don't. This is a learning lesson for men, for the gay men, for straight and for women. When it comes to straight guys, just because they're short, they may be 5'5" or 5'4".
Ew.
On them, because those 5'5s, 5'6", 5'4s.
Not always.
Well, it must have been the
No,
case.
thank you. I'm not looking down.
I will hope is the case in this case with Tory Lanez, because if Meg The Stallion was fighting for a little shrimp,
How
then she's
tall?
an
How
idiot.
tall is he? And
He's
how?
like 5'5", 5'6". He's short. The
And
point
she's
is,
5'10".
and the point is, he must have had some good peen, because her and her little ex BFF, who are no longer friends before, and they were best friends, it all was from a fight that stemmed from them, because they both found out that Tory Lanez was fucking both of them.
He is not even fucking cute. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy.
But back to the line part. To me, when I first heard this, I'm like, I hear what you say. It doesn't take away from the whole case, or that he actually made her like poop, like people like to say, pow pow dance, bitch. I think that's so hilarious when people like, not hilarious, but when people say that, I'm like, really? it doesn't take away from that. I get it, but it still raises the eyebrow because I had to raise an eyebrow where it's like, but you lied. Why
So
lie?
did, but Tori lied too.
What did he lie about? I don't know. I wasn't
He
that.
lied about shooting her.
Well, word on the street allegedly. Some people think this the BFF did it. That was Kelsey.
I wish that if they
Especially
were
because they were
like,
arguing. The driver was subpoenaed and testified and said that they were arguing and that Kelsey and Meg also fought. Like that's like
that
it.
is grounds for fighting to be like hooking up. I mean, thank God you're gay and I don't like your type. But in the event like we were girls and you were hooking up with my man, I'm not gonna fight you, but I'm pretty sure you would fight me. Um,
No.
Dos mujeres un camino. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I could see that. And then also they were drinking too. Yeah, it's not looking good, bro.
Yeah, but do you think so? For you you think it was fine finding out like that she lied or that she spun it in the web because the way the question was asked and in her way, and I get it. We could
I
some
don't
of
think
us.
she's funny. I think she was taken aback by that question. That is such a random question to ask. Oprah and Gail King, I put them as two people, two of the same type of people. And when they ask questions like that, like when she asked a princess or what is it, Meghan Markle, were you silenced or were you silenced? You're putting someone on the spot. I don't know. I don't feel that that question was warranted. And that's probably why Meghan reacted that way. Because if you watch the clip, the way she was like, and she took a minute to like answer,
Yeah, yeah.
you're not getting media training on the spot. She probably didn't know she was going to be asked that question. I still don't feel that the real truth is going to come out eventually, but
Well, I mean, he's in jail.
Tori's actions afterwards were not cool. That whole music video,
Yeah. Absolutely.
come on
No,
now.
yeah. It's what followed afterwards with him and stuff. But like, I mean, he's trying to appeal and do all that stuff. It would just be wild if it came out that like the best friend did it.
Okay, so we're getting comments. Well, I'm getting comments like having a sexual encounter more than once is considered a relationship.
Sex in a relationship,
I
yeah.
don't think it's considered a relationship.
If you're hooking up, if it's more than once, twice, maybe trois. Kylie
So
Minogue was,
what's the difference
Kylie
between
Minogue was
that
teaching me how to count in a different
and
language.
the trois?
So, trois. More than trois, it's a sexual relationship. Y'all hooking up.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, the question it doesn't matter. It doesn't make or break the case. So if people are gonna like if they're gonna spin it and say Megan Line, do a retrial, mistrial on Tory Lane's case because of that, then I don't know.
No. Well, I don't think do a whole trial again
I
because
still like her music. I love her new album. There's a few like little bops that I like from Tory.
no, same. Listen, I don't. I still like Meg The Stallion. I think again, like you said, there's a few tracks that I like about her. Like from her latest album as well. But it was just
But I
like,
do
hmm,
with one of the comments I want to call it out. Yes, the documentary was about I think that the reason that she did a lot of things was because she was grieving the death of her mom. Her grandmother died, her dad died young, and she had nobody. So obviously, what are you going to do? There's so many people that
yeah,
revert to, and this is a perfect conversation to have with Byronique because she can attest to this. When a loved one of yours dies instantly and suddenly, and like you have no way of knowing that it was going to happen, like it just happened so quick, how are you supposed to grieve? People grieve differently.
well, I mean, we don't need Byronique for that. I'm attest to that. I lost my
True.
mom 5 years ago, and you know, we wasn't expecting it either. So I totally get that. I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. And with her, it was a lot and stuff. Like everyone grieves in different ways, and this is why we have to be kinder, more understanding. in this world because you never know what different people are going through. But
So hence, it wasn't a relationship.
post election, we do want to play a little game before we end the show. Hopefully, it's all right to play a game and people are not bothered that we're playing a game because we're trying to keep it light here. We're still trying to keep our lives going and be happy and not just succumb to the tragedy or how people are viewing this post-election. We must still carry on with life. We don't have to stay in the negative or in the woe is me or what's gonna happen. Let's be optimistic, people. And sometimes optimism, some people don't like optimism. Sometimes optimism and happiness makes people say, ew. You know what? We're gonna give you optimism. We're gonna give you happiness because those are the people we are. So let's play one of our favorite games here. We haven't played it in a while, and Melanie's gonna lead. And I love to use this paddle. Never have I ever.
Shout out to Andy for the paddles.
Shout out to Andy Cohen. I also like to hold Andy up on my stick.
All right, I'll start it off. Never have I ever secretly dated a friend's ex. Bitch, you don't have to date. No, question.
I haven't dated a. Wait.
Flip it.
Oh, I have.
Okay.
Well, not dated. Just fucked.
Secretly did something. Never have I ever stolen something from a friend's house.
No. Not a.
Never have I ever had a near-death experience. Yes, the fuck I have. And you know, Charlie, because you were there and we took a picture. Vegas.
That was not a death experience.
I almost died. And like you didn't care because you were so self-absorbed.
Just because her seatbelt didn't go down, the bride wasn't gonna go without her seatbelt.
Yes, it was. They were really about to be like, and 1, 2.
I have. And Melanie knows because her and my dad spoke about this recently when they came to the hospital to see me. So I have.
Oh, yeah. Never have I ever kissed a stranger. Define a stranger.
At the club. Like,
no.
You shut up.
No, I haven't. No, I have not.
No. I don't know.
Never have I ever played strip poker.
I've never. You have?
I'll tell you after. Yeah.
Wait. Question. Not strip poker, but what about like Uno? And if you lose, you have.
Well, yeah. You know, during quarantine, you'll be bored. You know. Never have I ever sent an anonymous love letter. No.
I've been direct of who's sending it. It's me, Romeo.
Never have I ever tried naked yoga. I don't even like Bikram yoga. Is that the hot yoga? Gross.
I have.
Never have I ever committed a crime.
Well, it depends who you ask.
I've never committed a crime.
I've never committed a crime either. Just because I punched a ex.
Wait, no, flip. Let me shut up. I'm putting your business on blast. Never have I ever fallen asleep while on the phone with someone. I sure have. I did last night.
In high school, like during high school days. Remember in high school? Now I can't stand talking.
I hate that shit. I would do that with my best friends.
But in high school, like with friends or with like people you liked or whatever, like 2, 3 in the morning still talking, and then dead silence, and then talk and fall asleep. Oh, the good old days.
Never have I ever pretended to agree with someone to avoid an argument. Absolutely fucking not. Because guess what? You're gonna know if I feel some type of way, and we will go toe to toe.
I have, unfortunately.
I was like up there in debate club.
I have.
I'll tap out if I see your point, but I'm not gonna just say yes just to say yes. Wait, was that me?
A lot of people. There's some things that you sometimes, even if it's minuscule, sometimes you're like, It's not that big of a deal. I don't care.
Never have I ever given up something I love for another person.
Something I love for another person. In what ways?
What if someone doesn't like? Well, when I think about this, I think of like I had a boyfriend, you know who it is, and like remember they felt some type of way about us having sleepovers or like yeah, remember?
Oh, okay. So something like that.
I didn't give that shit up. Fuck you and your kids.
I don't know how to answer this, but I don't want to. I
Have
have
you ever given up something for something that you love to do?
no.
Or
Mm-mm.
never have I ever been ashamed of a best friend. Of course not. You better. You better. Okay. Never have I ever thought about a partner as a burden. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And there. Did you ever think of a partner as a burden?
What's the? I mean, I know what a.
A burden is like
It,
like an
it,
inconvenience.
it,
Yeah.
it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those.
Never have I ever signed up for a gym membership because of a crush. No.
Absolutely.
Hell no.
If anything, people were signing up to the gym and going to the gym because I was into the gym. I've been into the gym for a very long time. So
I've only signed up for the gym because I wanted to or because my doctor tells me to fucking run. But did you hear, side note, did you hear about the new law that they're passing about cancellations with gym cancellations? Like you they can't force you to go into the gym and cancel. They can't force you to like not be able to cancel and make it hard for you. I forget why because it's elective. If you are if it's so easy for you to
sign up.
if it's so easy for you to sign up, it should be as easy to like cancel your membership. Um,
I like that. I didn't hear about that, but that's great news. Three more. Give us three more.
never have I ever forgotten a dating a dating anniversary. I'm forgetful, so
I have never. I'm good with dates. I'm good with anniversary, birthdays, anniversary. I'm there.
I guess I used to be the type to put that shit in my calendar. Now I don't care.
Until the right one comes along.
Facts. Never have I ever ruined the dinner on purpose. No, I didn't. That's toxic. That's fucked up. And that's one thing I don't. When it comes to food, I don't fuck with that. If we get into an argument and you decide not to eat my food that I'm cooking when I don't even like cooking, it's a wrap. Never have I ever written a love poem.
I'm a fucking Pisces. Of course I have.
Did I write a love poem? I'm more of a. I will make you a playlist
I
dedicated.
do that too. I've done that too. I've been done CDs before, like Berta CD. With, oh my god.
Oh my god, you're dating yourself. Jesus.
I
Right.
said the other day I just had a meeting and I said something where my principal wait was like, oh my god, you're AG or something. I'm like, yes, because I brought up Melrose Place in Beverly Hills on a 210. But listen, y'all.
Last one.
Let's do one more.
Never have I ever gotten bored of a relationship. I sure have. If you can't stimulate my mind, seduce my soul.
I've had a few relationships though, so if any exes are watching this, don't think it's necessarily about
They know who they. I mean, he knows who he is. Stalking my life in the boardwalk.
they know who they are.
That
But
was
anyway, listen, I'm glad we was able to come. We are glad we was able to show up and show out on what could be. We're not gonna take away from other people's feelings because we all process and have different feelings, etc. But we're glad to show up on a day where a lot of people are feeling a certain way and still make us smile, still bring some glimmer of hope and optimism. And we're going to be okay. We are going to be okay. We are going to make it through this. This is where we come together as people at the end of the day as humans, as souls, and just persevere through. Persevere through. And for the next 4 years, the Inner Circle podcast will be here to
Oh,
help y'all.
oh Lord, you
Help
claiming it in the
y'all
name of Jesus?
in the name of Jesus to help y'all. And we're going to make it through these next 4 years. And in 2028, we're going to sit right here and be like, we made it. And we're still alive. And we still have more to cultivate. With our
In the words of Gloria Gaynor, I will survive.
will survive. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Especially on a day like this. We appreciate you guys. Hopefully you got some laughter, some little entertainment. My BFF, love you. We have such an amazing time. Tune in next week for another episode. We in November. This was our first show of November. We are really in the nitty-gritty things of the holiday season. And I'm excited because I love the holidays. Thank you guys so much. See you guys next week. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. YouTube, share, like. It's free. We appreciate you guys. Adios.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, everything the Inner Circle podcast, and catch us every Wednesday live at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook.